Greetings to you, my hi-fi and real estate brethren. And if you are new to this channel, my name is Dave. I'm a real estate agent here in Singapore, and I also do hi-fi review on my channel. Alright, I want to begin today's video by asking you a question. When was the last time you did something for the first time? As for me, my most recent thing that I did for the first time was a few months back. I rode my foldable bicycle from Singapore to Malaysia. And that was my latest first time. As you can see from today's thumbnail right and title right, that was my 3-night stay on this volcano. That is a live volcano called the Mt Rinjani. It is on the island of Lombok, Indonesia. But if I mention Bali, you should know where is Bali. So Lombok is about 40 minutes ferry ride from Bali. So in this video, I'm going to share with you what I learned from staying 3 nights on this live volcano. If you were to go to this Mt Rinjani, right, going to the base camp, if you were to go on a good day, right, that means you go on a dry season where you don't see a lot of rain or there's no rain, it will take an average healthy person to reach the base camp of the Mt Rinjani. You take around 10 hours because we had to cater to everyone's availability. Therefore, we choose to go, I think, near the last week of November, which in this region of the world is the monsoon period, and during the monsoon period it rains every day, right, every single day. On the day of assigning to the mountain, to the base camp, right, around about 1 hour into the trip it started to pour, and at first I thought it was just a passing crowd. Okay, maybe I let you see some of the photo I taken. Alright, from far when you look at this Rinjani, there you see some crowd on the top of the mountain, right? From far you look very mystical, very pretty, but trust me, when you're inside there you hate it because you can't really see where you're going. Alright, so about 1 hour into the trip, right, it started to rain, and the rain didn't stop until we reached the top, reached the base camp. I can tell you that this journey was really, really fun, right? Super fun, but it was also dangerous. In some part of the climb was very dangerous because there were many times where you were walking actually on the edge of the mountain, alright, a certain hill, and the path is only about this wide, really this wide, about for one person to pass through. And if you were to miss your step, because you can be so exhausted, because you need to carry your backpack. But of course, we don't carry everything for ourselves. We hire porters. The porters are really fit. They were the farmers. We were wearing hiking shoes. They were only wearing flip-flops. Alright, yeah, that's true. They were wearing flip-flops. So in some part of the journey, right, I think not some part, there's a lot of segment where if you were to miss one step, right, to the left, you will fall down and there's nothing to stop you until you hit a rock. So it was raining all the way. The rain was so relentless and so heavy that whatever waterproof that I was wearing, even my Gore-Tex boots, right, the Gore-Tex actually collapsed. So there was one part where we reached the ridge of the mountain. There was still a long distance to the base camp. And on this ridge, there wasn't any tree. Alright, the woods were about maybe another 200 meters away. And that was the worst part of the storm. So for the first time in my life, I saw for myself live the lightning striking the ground. It was like 30 meters away, some 40 meters, some 50 meters away. And I can tell you that, very honest with you, that was the first time in my life I thought that I was going to die there. We saw in movies, right, and then we hear from those people with a near-death experience. So they say that their life start to flash in front of their eye. Yeah, I did experience that for a few seconds. If some of you has watched this Saving Private Ryan, right, during their bridge assault, when some of the soldiers got shot and they lost an arm, lost a leg, right, there was one part this soldier was calling his mom, mama, mama, mama. Yeah, I almost did that. In my heart, actually, I was thinking about my mother, right? Although that time I was about 40 plus. Yeah, I was calling my mother because I thought I was going to die, and this is very natural reaction because the one that spend the most time with you, actually your mother, when you're young, right? Whenever there's a lightning, thunder, you run to your mother's embrace, right? So, but that happened to me for about 30 seconds. Suddenly, this thought came to me. Does it mean that if I were to stay put in that spot, the lightning won't strike me? So it was like a very spontaneous reaction. At the moment that thought came to me, I stood up, and then I just walked. There were understand that at this time the lightning was still striking here, there, behind, left, right, in front, right, 45 degree, 30 degree, 30 meters. Some were, I think, maybe 20 meters, right? Pra, 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 pra. I just keep walking the straight line towards the woods. And from here, I think we learned something that, fear, right? Fear can actually paralyze a person. I believe some of you might have gone through this, might have experienced this. If you have not, some point in your life you will experience this. When you may be facing an imminent problem, a challenge, right? A challenge so big that you had never experienced before, or you might have tried certain method that you get through these challenges or this crisis. However, this time when you try to use that method, it didn't work anymore, and then you thought to yourself that is this the gone case situation? It's easy to say that, do not fear, do not be afraid, don't scared, not to be afraid, don't scared, Although certain things that you try may not work anymore, but you need to remind yourself that at that time, although you think that all hope is gone, but somehow you walk through it, right? So if you were to have let fear control you, right, then you will paralyze you. The fear will paralyze you, and then even though when you're capable of having a solution, but because of this fear, and this fear will cause yourself to lie to yourself and tell you that you're not going to make it. This time, that's it. You're going to fail, right? So don't believe in this lie. I do not know what situation you're going through, but I can't even give you a solution now. But this little bit of advice, I think will be very helpful to you, right? Try not to let fear control you, because once fear set in, not that you do a lot of stupid things that you think you never thought you would do, but you may also start to hurt people around you. All right. I see there's a lot of people, family, they quarrel maybe over money issue, but sometimes the issue is not because of the money issue, but it's how the couple handle this money issue, right? If the guy, maybe you lost your job, and then you see that your bills are piling up, right? You will try sending your application. I saw on the news, some people even send 200 application or 100 application a month. They still don't get any reply. So maybe because of this, you feel frustrated, and then you start to take out on your wife, on your parents, on your children. And for ladies, if you are a wife, right, and even though your problem is very real, you see that your husband is not bringing in the money, and then you see that there's expenses, all these things, all these challenges, and then you start to put pressure on your husband. It's not going to help. Although I'm not married, but I seen this kind of problem happening over and over again. It's not because now we see the economy is very bad because of the pandemic, but this kind of thing happens all the time, okay? Just because there's a pandemic, so people will tend to blame the pandemic, but this kind of thing, it's happening like that, okay? Alright, back to the story. So after I walk about 150 meters, I was nearing the woodside. And okay, by this time I already lost all my members already, all my group members, because when you go to climb this kind of mountain, this kind of very long trekking, very challenging trek, right, it's natural that we will be separated because everyone's stamina is different. Okay, you don't depend on your friend who walk with you. It's very hard because it's so hard, right? Everyone will be each one for his own, okay, nothing wrong. So I was nearing this the woods, right? Then I saw a group of people, about 5 or 6 or even 7 person, standing in a circle together, right? Together. So I thought, wow, that's good, because I can go there and get some encouragement, At the same time, I can encourage the people there. But when I reach there, when I want to talk to them, I saw them together. They were all in the raincoat, some in the poncho. They were all shivering together. Okay, they wasn't talking to each other, so they just shivered together. At the moment, right, I thought I will not join them to shiver together. I have heard many people, right? Those people, either they are preaching, they are giving a speech. They say that, oh, our life is not a lone ranger journey. You must belong to a group, then you can support each other. There is some truth in it, but that's not the whole truth, because it depends on what kind of group you join. If you join a group that you spur one another, all right, and encourage one another to do better, to do their best, and also to comfort one another. So when you are down, when you fail, right, people don't give you the judgment, right? Why you've done so many times, you still fail. You try so many times, you might give up. Okay, not that kind of group, right? So there are groups that really are good for you, but then doesn't mean that you must join a group. So for certain group, I think you better not join them. All right, there's a bad influence. When we reached the base camp, it was already dark. It was night time. The usual journey will be planned in such that you reach there in the evening, and then they cook the dinner for you. The porter will cook the dinner, very nice dinner, instant noodle, but very nice. Indomie, very nice. But because it was so late, right, then we set up tents and then we went to sleep. So the next morning when we wake up, we realized that it was so beautiful when you look into the mountain, the volcano lake. And since this is a live volcano, right, so the huge volcano lake, on the left side of the lake, right, there's a baby volcano, and it was smoking. After about 20 minutes, I get bored. Right, I wasn't really enjoying the scenery because, yeah, it's very nice, but after about 20 minutes, it's like, okay, so what's next? That's it, right? So to me, it's not so much of the destination. Yeah, it's more on the journey. And then what about the journey? If you ask me how I enjoy the place, I couldn't really remember much, even when I look at the photo. But I can remember certain things some of them said to me and what I said to others. My friend was cheering me up. Right, they say that I look like Moses because I got the staff in my hand. Then I jokingly say that if I'm Moses, right, I'll pray to God that God will rain and get scolded by them. Then the other thing is, within this few days, we get to understand each other. We know roughly what's your character like, what's your personality like. There was one night we were all inside our tent already, okay? And because we were so lazy to come out, even when we want to talk to each other, right, we didn't come out and meet like in the middle of the fireplace. No, not that. Okay, that was like movie. That's movie. When we want to talk to each other, we just shout from our tent, right? So there was once someone was having a conversation. Then I make a comment, and then the other guy from I don't know from which tent, they shouted that, Dave, I think you're a very rebellious person. All right. They were saying that not that I'm a difficult person to be with, but my idea is always different from others. Yeah, you can see my video, you know. Right, so all these things, you feel that when that happened, right, you feel that the time spending with those guys are worth it. You feel a sense of belonging. You feel that there's this, they call it esprit de corps, where we take care of each other, and there's a spirit of moving together. That is very important. It's a total opposite from just now when I say that everyone shiver together, then you don't get encouraged and you join the wrong group. Alright, when you join the right group, you'll do a lot for you. I'm not an anti-establishment person. Yeah, I also encourage you that if you can join the right group of people, you will benefit and you will also be a blessing to other people. That's how the society works. Alright, we don't close ourselves up. And then coming back to the group where I mentioned just now, when they group together, they shiver together, that kind of thing. And then actually that also reminds me of the very first in-house training when I just got my real estate license. And I still remember what the lecturer told us, a piece of advice, maybe for us agent, right? So we'll go, sometimes we'll see each other in the coffee shop, we'll sit down and have a coffee, then we'll chit-chat, talk about our work. He warned us that if you sit down with that person or that group of people and they start to complain that the work is very hard, sales is very bad, economy is very bad, he said don't even drink coffee with them, because those people will pull you down. And they may not be lying, economy may not be doing well, it's very challenging. Alright, that's why I say that it's not, if you are facing a challenge now, it's not because of the pandemic. But it has been like that since more than 10 years ago, right? Not every industrial are very competitive. Every industry have their challenges. Because, I mean, logically, if you know of this industry that's easy to make money and there's no challenge, you should be there, you should be involved in that industry. Especially you are saying that you want to provide for your family, right? The fact is there's no such thing as a very easy industry. At the time, there were some people, some potential who walked into the show flag, right? And I start to do presentation. After all the presentation, he said that, oh, cannot buy house because recession coming. And so I thought maybe he's true. Then I told my IC. My IC told me that, oh, everyone will say that recession is coming. After that, second year, I meet another customer, I meet people, and people tell me, oh, recession coming. And then guess what? Every single year they tell me next year recession coming, next year recession coming. So every year there's a recession. Then what's so unique about now? Right or not? But I tell you, do you believe that every year there's recession every year? Like the economic crisis don't happen every year, right? Those are with real record, right? But I tell you what, it's true that recessions happen every year. But it's not about the economy. It's some people, they have this recession spirit in them. So whether is it in 2012, 2015, 2020, even 2025, they'll say that there's a recession. Alright, if you have this mindset of defeat, right? You have the mindset of recession, then whatever people tell you, you will say that no, it's impossible, you will fail, it's very hard, it's very competitive. You think so easy, I know a lot of people tell me, you think so easy, you know. So actually it's an effect of the mindset. If you have this kind of mindset of a defeat, right, then even opportunities in front of you, you will tell yourself that you think so easy, then you won't do it. Okay. Right, for some people it's very hard to change, I understand. But let's say if in the course of your life, even when you're growing up and someone actually says something to you that you're not going to amount to anything, or that you see your parents are like that, so you also be like that. Alright, those are lies. So now I just want to demolish those lies in your life. Okay, why is it important to say it now? Because I know that when you're facing a challenge and you think that life is getting hopeless, all these kind of negative thoughts, negative lies will easily come to attack you, and they'll have the bigger impact. Right, bigger impact than you were when you're doing well. Then if someone say this to you, right, you say, no, I'm doing well. Okay, so at this time, I mean, I'm just a property agent. I also cannot help many people, right? I don't have the power to help many people, but with whatever little bit I can through my small YouTube channel, right? I hope that I can be of an encouragement to you, lah. And also I don't mind to share some of my experience, some of my not so glamorous experience, right? Because property agents are position themselves as the guru, the expert, you know. Yeah, okay, but I think this is a real-time call for a real sharing, you know, being real to ourselves, to other people, and to ourselves. Yeah, so I hope that my sharing can encourage you to hang in there. You know, hang in there maybe just for a little while, and your breakthrough will come. I hope that you'll be encouraged. And then let's say you are really feel bored, right? Then you can watch some of my video lah. You no need to watch the property video. You can watch my cycling video. You know, I told you about my cycling to Pontian. Yeah, you can watch those also, or watch some of my hi-fi video. Okay, so my name is Dave Okay, your brother here, caring for you and tell you that don't give up on yourself. Alright, okay, Dave signing off. Bye bye.